In 2021, Las Vegas opened its most ambitious gamble, a $4.3 billion mega-resort, pitched as the Strip's first true leap into the future. But just 3 years later, the promise of luxury technology and record profits stands in stark contrast to regulatory fines, revenue shortfalls, and a location many say set it up to fail. How did the world's newest casino icon become the most expensive risk in Vegas history, and what really lies behind its troubled numbers? In August 2013, Genting Group secured an 87-acre parcel on the north end of the Las Vegas Strip for $350 million. The land came with a history. The unfinished Echelon project, a casualty of the 2008 financial crisis, left behind foundations, a partial hotel tower, and a parking garage. Genting's deal with Boyd Gaming included these remnants, offering a shortcut compared to building from the ground up. Early plans for Resorts World Las Vegas floated a budget between $2 and $4 billion, but as designs evolved, so did the price tag. By November 2019, Genting announced upgraded plans that expanded the resort's amenities, increasing the project cost from $4 billion to $4.3 billion. The additions included more guest rooms, luxury suites, and a larger pool complex, along with expanded meeting and entertainment spaces. Construction managers integrated what they could from the Echelon structures, while demolishing elements that no longer fit the new blueprint. The scale of the investment quickly drew attention. Resorts World was positioned to become the most expensive single-phase resort ever built in Las Vegas. The decision to push the budget upward reflected Genting's confidence in the Strip's long-term appeal, but it also locked the company into a high-cost structure before a single guest checked in. By the end of 2019, the project's scope and financial commitment were set, shaping every operational and financial decision that would follow. Financing for Resorts World Las Vegas combined parent company backing with a complex stack of loans and targeted investor contributions. Genting Berhad, the sole owner, committed billions in sponsor capital, but did not rely entirely on its own balance sheet. Early in planning, the developers pitched a capital mix that aimed to raise about a quarter of the total budget, roughly $1 billion, through the EB-5 visa program, which attracts foreign investment in exchange for residency eligibility. While this target was widely reported in project marketing and early commentary, public records and ratings agency disclosures do not confirm how much, if any, EB-5 funding was ultimately secured for the project. No definitive figure appears in Genting's annual reports or in Nevada regulatory filings. The bulk of the $4.3 billion cost was covered by a blend of long-term secured debt and direct capital from Genting and its affiliates. By the mid-2020s, ratings agencies such as Fitch and Moody's described Resorts World as carrying more than $2.5 billion in project-level debt, consolidated within Genting's broader credit profile. This left the resort with a debt-to-cost ratio in the range of 60%, with the remaining 40% funded through parent capital and internal loans. The structure reflects both the scale of the investment and the group's willingness to support the property through its ramp-up period. Credit analysts have consistently noted that this level of leverage makes Resorts World financial health highly sensitive to swings in revenue and cash flow. Quarterly results from 2024 and 2025 show just how narrow the margin for error can be. When EBITDA fell from $40 million to $10 million year over year, the resort's ability to comfortably service its debt came under scrutiny in credit reviews. Although Genting's global portfolio offers a cushion, the property's high fixed costs and thin operational buffer have been recurring themes in analyst commentary. The absence of a confirmed EB-5 tranche leaves the final capital stack less transparent than at many comparable projects, and the available evidence points to a resort built on heavy leverage and sponsor exposure, with limited flexibility should performance falter. Resorts World Las Vegas opened with a footprint designed to rival the Strip's largest properties. The resort offers approximately 3,500 guest rooms and suites, making it one of the biggest hotel operations in the city. These rooms are distributed across 3 distinct Hilton brands: Las Vegas Hilton, Conrad Las Vegas, and Crockford's Las Vegas, each targeting a different tier of the luxury market. The casino floor covers about 117,000 square feet, providing space for thousands of slot machines, table games, and high-limit areas. Meeting and convention facilities span more than 250,000 square feet, with direct underground access to the Las Vegas Convention Center via the Vegas Loop station on the property's eastern edge. The resort's entertainment centerpiece is a 5,000-seat theater, built to attract major residencies and headline acts. Retail and dining are also on a grand scale, with more than 70 outlets spread across the property. The pool complex, one of the largest on the Strip, covers over 220,000 square feet and features 7 pools. This scale reflects the ambition behind the $4.3 billion investment, positioning Resorts World among the most expansive and multifaceted resorts ever built in Las Vegas. From the outset, Resorts World Las Vegas promoted itself as the most technologically advanced resort on the Strip. Genting executives described a guest experience built around cashless convenience, digital integration, and seamless service. The resort's launch materials highlighted a cashless gaming system that allowed guests to load funds into a digital wallet, transfer money between slots and table games, and pay for dining or retail purchases, all from a mobile device. Partners like Konami Gaming and global fintech providers were named in press releases, emphasizing the scale of the digital wallet infrastructure and its integration across the property. The hotel operation leaned heavily on mobile technology as well. Guests could check in online, use their phones as digital room keys, and control lighting, curtains, and temperature through an app or an in-room tablet. Resorts World's leadership described these features as a frictionless, contactless solution designed for modern travelers. In interviews, technology executives called the resort a blueprint for the future of hospitality, offering what they called a truly seamless arrival and in-room experience. The promise was clear: less waiting, more control, and a guest journey defined by digital ease. These claims set a high bar for what guests and the industry would expect from the property's day-to-day operations. Quarterly financial reports from Genting Berhad reveal the early performance story at Resorts World Las Vegas in stark numbers. In the first quarter of 2025, the resort generated $166 million in revenue, a drop of 22% from the same period the previous year. EBITDA fell from $40 million to just $10 million, a 75% decline. The company attributed part of this contraction to a normalization following the citywide surge from the 2024 Super Bowl, but the trend extended into subsequent quarters. By the second quarter, revenue hovered around $180 million, with adjusted profits of approximately $18 million, still down more than 60% from the year before. By the third quarter, revenue slipped to $175 million, and Resorts World posted an estimated EBITDA loss of nearly $12 million, reversing a $16 million profit from the prior year. Genting's filings and earnings calls consistently point to 2 main pressures: lower gaming hold and a reduction in overall visitation. The volatility of gaming win, known as hold volatility, is not unique to Resorts World, but the resort's results show a sharper impact than many competitors. Gaming win data from the Nevada Gaming Control Board confirm that Resorts World's share of Strip-wide gaming revenue has remained modest, even as overall market volume rebounded in 2024. Management commentary in Genting's quarterly summaries highlights the challenge of maintaining high margin play and stable occupancy, especially during midweek periods when convention business is softer. The financial squeeze is amplified by the resort's high fixed costs. With more than $2.5 billion in project debt and a cost base structured around $4.3 billion in development, even modest shortfalls in revenue can erode profitability. Genting's chief financial officer, in a 2025 investor call, described the situation as a period of margin compression and acknowledged the need to recover and re-establish the customer base. The numbers tell the story. A resort built for sustained high volumes, now operating with a thinner cushion and heightened sensitivity to swings in both gaming and non-gaming demand. These figures set the stage for a closer look at how Resorts World's performance compares to its Strip peers, and how much of the pressure is unique to this property versus market-wide trends. Across the Strip, performance metrics tell a story of competition measured in occupancy, room rates, and revenue per available room. In the first quarter of 2025, Resorts World Las Vegas posted an occupancy rate of 82.3%. That figure trailed Aria at 87.5%, Wynn and Encore at 88%, and Bellagio at 86.8%. Even the Strip-wide average came in higher at 86.1%. The average daily rate stood at $274, just above the Strip average of $256, but behind Aria at $285 and well below Wynn at $310 and Bellagio at $305. Caesars Palace and the Venetian also posted higher rates. RevPAR, a key measure of hotel profitability, placed Resorts World at $225.50 for the quarter, slightly above the Strip average, but lagging every major peer except MGM Grand. The second quarter saw the gap widen. While the Strip average occupancy climbed to 88.5%, Resorts World hovered near 80%. Aria, Wynn, and Bellagio each topped 88%, with Wynn reaching 89.5%. Room rates at Resorts World, estimated around $270, stayed below Wynn at $315 and Bellagio at $310, and even trailed Aria at $290. RevPAR for Resorts World dropped to an estimated $216, now below every major competitor, and the Strip average of $229.10. Peers like Aria and Bellagio maintained RevPAR above $250, and Wynn led the group at nearly $282. While most luxury properties reported flat or slightly positive RevPAR changes, Resorts World experienced an estimated decline of 18% year over year. The third quarter continued the pattern. Resorts World occupancy reached 83.8%, just above the Venetian and MGM Grand, but still behind Aria, Wynn, and Caesars Palace. The average daily rate slipped to $242, the lowest among direct competitors. RevPAR fell to $202.80, trailing both the Strip average and all luxury peers. While the broader market experienced a modest RevPAR decline of 3.5%, Resorts World's estimated drop was nearly double that rate. Analysts point to several factors behind these numbers. STR economists and hospitality experts note that Resorts World's North Strip location limits spontaneous walk-in traffic, increasing reliance on convention business and destination guests. Sell-side analyst commentary highlights midweek softness and heavier discounting, especially outside major events. The property's average daily rate compression in the third quarter suggests a need to cut rates to fill rooms, further squeezing margins. The side-by-side comparison underscores Resorts World's vulnerability to underperformance. While other luxury resorts absorbed market headwinds with smaller declines, Resorts World's RevPAR and occupancy gaps widened. These metrics signal not just a difficult market, but property-specific challenges that set the stage for operational and reputational consequences. In December 2024, the Nevada Gaming Commission approved a settlement for $10.5 million against Resorts World Las Vegas for anti-money laundering compliance failures. The fine was the second largest in state history, and it followed a detailed investigation by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Regulators alleged that Resorts World allowed known illegal bookmakers and other high-risk patrons to gamble millions of dollars over a period of nearly 2 years, without adequately verifying the sources of their funds or escalating red flags as required by federal and state law. The complaint cited specific cases, including a high-value player who lost almost $8 million at the property while openly discussing illegal bookmaking activities with staff. Internal documents showed the resort's own compliance committee recognized these risks, but failed to act until after federal law enforcement intervened. The settlement was finalized on December 19, 2024. It required Resorts World and its parent company Genting to pay the full fine without admitting or denying the allegations. The agreement mandated a series of remedial steps, including strengthening anti-money laundering protocols, upgrading transaction monitoring systems, and making changes to the resort's executive leadership. Resorts World committed to enhanced staff training, more robust source of funds verification, and regular reporting to regulators on compliance improvements. The Nevada Gaming Control Board reserved the right to pursue further action if subsequent federal investigations revealed additional violations. The $10.5 million penalty added a significant compliance cost to the resort's balance sheet and placed its internal controls under ongoing regulatory scrutiny. On July 21, 2022, Resorts World experienced a property-wide cashless gaming outage that forced hundreds of guests to abandon digital wallets and revert to cash. According to Reuters, the incident resulted in more than 500 reverse transactions as staff and technology vendors scrambled to restore service. Operations teams fielded a surge of complaints, and service desks reported extended wait times and confusion over lost or duplicated funds. The outage followed earlier problems with room automation. On March 15, 2022, dozens of guests were locked out because of mobile key failures, prompting security and engineering staff to issue physical keys and manually reset door systems. Internal reports documented a spike in guest dissatisfaction on those dates, with frontline employees citing technology malfunctions as a top driver of negative feedback. Retail and dining operations have faced similar friction. Data from CBRE in its Las Vegas Strip Third Quarter 2023 report lists 12 out of 70 retail units at Resorts World as vacant, an occupancy rate well below Central Strip benchmarks. Several high-profile food and beverage concepts have cycled through rapid closures or rebranding, with non-gaming revenue falling short of internal projections. Leasing agents and former tenants attribute the vacancies to weak foot traffic and underwhelming sales per square foot, a pattern echoed in trade press coverage. The combined effect of technology outages and retail vacancies has eroded the resort's promise of seamless, modern luxury, placing added strain on operations staff and highlighting persistent gaps between marketing claims and day-to-day delivery. Guest sentiment at Resorts World. Las Vegas tracked closely with the resort's operational realities and its North Strip location. Analysis of public reviews from 2021 through 2023 shows a pattern. Early enthusiasm gave way to a more mixed reputation as technology glitches, service inconsistencies, and location drawbacks became recurring themes. By late 2023, the average guest rating on major platforms hovered near 4.3 out of 5, and the distribution of reviews showed a higher share of 1-star and 2-star complaints than at established luxury properties. Guests frequently cited digital key failures, problems with room automation, and the challenge of accessing the property without a car. Praise for room quality and amenities remained, but concerns about value and service weighed on overall scores. Convention demand plays a defining role in occupancy swings. During the January 2024 Consumer Electronics Show, Resorts World Las Vegas posted a 95% occupancy rate, among its highest of the year. Outside major events, occupancy and rate softness returned, underlining the resort's dependence on the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority calendar. That reliance appears in feedback from leisure travelers and meeting planners, who note the convenience during large conventions but limited appeal for spontaneous visits to the Strip. Evidence comes from a structured review analysis covering TripAdvisor, Google, and Booking.com ratings from opening through 2024, from Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority calendars, and from a planned interview roster that includes data analysts, hospitality experts, and former guests. This slate of sources allows verification of the reputation pulse, and it shows how guest sentiment intersects with location, technology, and market positioning. Las Vegas still rewards bold bets, but even billion-dollar ambition cannot defy hard math. Today, Resorts World stands as proof that market realities, including location, compliance, and guest experience, always collect their due. As new mega resorts rise and old icons adapt, the Strip's next chapter will be written by those who heed the lessons etched in $4.3 billion of glass and steel. What do you think Vegas's future holds? Share your thoughts below.